Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been a very long while since I last posted a video, and it must have been 4 weeks or so, and many things has actually happened in the garden. I've simply been too busy and the weather has been too wet. There's been just so much rain in Sydney in the last few weeks, and it just wasn't conducive to come out in the garden and do videos. And when I do actually have the time, it's wet. When I don't have the time, it's of course not wet. But today is a beautiful day, as you can see, very sunny, nicely warm. So let's take a look around the garden to see what's been happening the last few weeks. So let's go. So you might recall that I planted some purple Congo potatoes, and this is the result of it after a few months. As you can see, the leaves are just dying back at the moment, yellowing, so we can harvest some of the potatoes. And in fact, I actually dug up a few already. As you can see, there's some there and also some here. So I just need to do a bit more digging, and I will find a lot more of the purple potatoes. I'm not sure whether it's a good harvest or not, or whether it's a high yield or not, but we'll find out once I've finished digging it. So going with the purple theme, I have some purple beans here that are growing. They are so prolific, and this is a plant that I planted perhaps about 2 months ago, and already it's been fruiting profusely. This is a really good variety in the garden. I find that it is one of those that is very high yielding and very quick growing, and does not seem to have much disease at all. It seems to be quite disease resistant. It is an heirloom variety, and yeah, quite pretty in the garden. I mean, it looks purple now, but once you cook it, it actually goes green. So the novelty is when you go and pick it, but once it's cooked, there's no novelty there, unfortunately. It is summer, so summer fruits, stone fruits, are summer fruits. So what you see here is peaches wrapped inside the nets, because we have fruit flies here, but they are really amazing at the moment. I mean, look at the size of that, and that's still got a bit more growing to do, because normally these ones would have at least another 50% to go, and as you can see, they're quite beautifully coloring up, because we've been getting a bit of sun, especially these ones that are exposed to the sun. I mean, the ones that are not exposed to the sun, you will see that they're a bit yellow, like those ones over there. But once they're exposed to the sun, they turn this beautiful red. So peaches are one of the main stone fruits that I look forward to, especially in summer. And this tree is prolific. I mean, every year we have to thin it. Still, we get about 100 fruits a year from this particular tree, which is about 10 years old. Another summer fruit is, of course, the tomatoes. Well, some would call it a vegetable, but botanically it is really a fruit, right? Again, I have them wrapped in nets because of fruit flies, but this variety is called Tigerella, and about 2.5 months, 3 months now, and it is an indeterminate, which means that it just keeps going up and up and up and keeps fruiting along the way, and very prolific. So from what I've read, one plant can produce up to about 20 kilos, and I guess that all depends on the conditions that you have and the fertility of your ground. But you can see that it is a very bushy kind of plant, and climbs as well. I mean, if you look at this looks so crazy, but this is only 2 plants, believe it or not, and there are so many tomatoes on it, and I'm really looking forward to it. It is a type of cherry tomato, so it's only about the size of that. So maybe a ping pong ball size, or a little bigger depending on the conditions, but it is tasty, and these are grown from the seeds that I saved from last year from the garden. So this is definitely have localized in the garden. Now this vegetable needs no introduction. It is of course a baby pumpkin, and it is growing like crazy. I mean, this is one vine. Let me show you how wide it grows. So this is all one vine, and it is flowering like crazy at the moment. You can see that there is a female flower there. So it'll get pollinated, and we'll get a few more pieces of fruit. These are all self-sown. They've come up on their own, and I've just left them be because they clearly are very happy, growing very well. So I'm allowing it to be itself. In any case, it's not actually taking up space in the veggie patches. This is just underneath my fruit trees, so I'm gonna leave it be, and hopefully we'll get quite a few pumpkins this year. Now this is a rare sight. These are stellar cherries, and it's the first time that we are getting any fruit at all. But unfortunately, it's been such a wet year, so you can see that they have split and even got moldy. So while it's a joy to see fruits for the first time in many years, unfortunately the excessive rain that we've been getting also meant that the fruits split. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more fruits next year. So another summer fruit is of course the blueberry, and it's been pretty good this year in spite of the rain. I mean, you know, they don't like it too wet, but the fruit seems to be holding on. And again, the same thing, I've covered up all the fruiting branches because I don't want the birds to come and get them, and birds do love them. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit of a good harvest this year. There are 3 bushes and all of them seems to be flowering. And then there are summer apples, which is fabulous at this time of year. This particular tree always produces about 100 apples or so, and that's more than enough for a household of 3. You can see that I've also wrapped them up for the same reasons. They have, we get fruit flies, so we really do need to wrap them up. But you can see that they are beautiful at the moment. I mean, look at the size of those apples. They're unbelievable, and they're very, very tasty. They are a warmer climate sort of apples, so they survive really well in the Sydney sort of warmth and humidity. And last but not least is figs, of course. These are perfect summer fruits. You know, they love the warmth and the heat. And this is a variety which is green skin and pink fleshed. It's a cutting that I got from a friend whose father probably you know, brought the cutting from Italy in the 60s and the 70s. It is a beautiful, beautiful fig, very tasty and very, very prolific. I mean, on a tiny little tree, you can get about a few dozens easily. And when I say tiny, it's like a meter tall. Again, I've netted this particular tree because fruit flies do actually attack that as well.